Hey everybody, welcome back to the Dungeon Dive. Daniel here. I hope you're doing well, and if you're not, I hope you are soon. Okay, today something a little different on the channel. We are going to do a brief holiday gift guide. I've actually had a couple people ask me to do this before, and I think I kind of put together kind of a cool list. So one thing you won't find on this list are games. Most gamers, I think, we go out and we just buy the games that we want. The things that I'm going to recommend are things that maybe some people won't buy themselves, that are game related, that can enhance their gameplay. Gaming accessories, you could say. Now, if you know someone, if you have a niece or nephew and they have a specific game on their list, hey, your job is easy. Just do that. Just get them what they want. But this list is kind of for people who maybe, they have a brother-in-law or sister-in-law or a cousin who they know is in the tabletop games, and maybe they just aren't quite sure what to get. And so I'm going to suggest some things. Okay, so first up is everybody's favorite, dice. Dice are really cool. I think dice are great gifts. There are so many different kinds of dice. You have the different polyhedral dice, the different shapes that come in cool color coordinated sets. I have these yellow and pink dice here. These are my Morkborg D6. I love these things. And you can get these like GM assist dice that can help people GM or Dungeon Master games. There are all kinds of dice. And dice can be oddly sentimental, because you can have like favorite dice and you can remember when you got your favorite dice, or you can remember somebody who maybe bought you a D20 that you really liked. Like, oh man, my mom bought me this D20 and it rolls really well. I have really good luck when I play with this D20. I still own my first D10s that I ever had, and they've been rolled so many times that the corners are rounded. And so, yeah, dice are a great gift. You can get really nice, expensive dice. You can get cheap dice. You can get dice in your gift receiver's favorite color. If they like a certain game, you can Google the name of that game and dice, and you can often find really cool custom dice. And so dice is my number one, or the number one on this list, not in order, but that's the first thing I'm recommending. And the second is related, and those are dice trays. I love this little snapping dice tray that was branded with Dungeoneers. And speaking of branding, you can Google, I think you can even do this at Etsy or other branding stores. If you look for branding dice trays, you can actually get, their name branded on the dice tray or something, or the name of their favorite game or something like that. But these small little snapping dice trays are great. These bigger dice trays are great. There are nice handmade wooden dice trays that you can get. So dice trays are really, really helpful. This is a great accessory and I think a great gift, and a small, kind of a nice little small little stocking stuffer gift. Coming up next is card organizers. Now, these are the Hold It card organizers, and thanks to the Dungeon Dive community, these things are sold out. I think per capita, the Dungeon Dive community probably owns more of these than any other group. However, you can find similar things on Amazon or other board game stores. Just look for card organizers, card holders. Things like business card holders actually work really well. So if you're out at Home Depot, Office Depot, are those still around? An office supply store, you can even find stuff that you can use. These are really, really handy, especially for people like me who have smaller gaming tables. So if you know a gamer in your life who has a small gaming table, stuff like that is really helpful. So are these card holders here. And these card holders have slots so you can put in cards, and you can have it all standing up so they don't take as much room on your table. I use these a lot for games like Shadows of Brimstone that have a lot of character cards. I'll put my character card in the back row, and then I'll put all of their gear and skill cards and everything in the rows in front of it. And then I can move this around as my character. So these are very handy for saving space, and you can get really nice wooden ones. You can get cheaper plastic ones. You can get all kinds of different card holders, and they're always handy. Okay, next up is customized things from Etsy. And Etsy has a lot of handmade things. Now, one thing you do have to be careful about now when you go to Etsy is Etsy has kind of slowly been taken over by cheap drop ship garbage. So just do your research on Etsy. Look for the other reviews to find out if the thing you're getting is actually well made. However, what I suggest you do is, if you know your gamer's favorite game, go to Etsy, type in the name of that game, and look for board game accessories, or type it in board game holders, or card holders and the name of their favorite game, or dice in the name of their favorite game, or just type in Arkham Horror board game, and you'll find all kinds of things that are custom and tailor-made for that game. Really cool little wooden etched things that hold the pieces, or really ornate character card holders, character sheet holders, all kinds of really cool things. And in tandem with that, I'm also recommending little desk toys, little tchotchkes, not chachi, tchotchkes, little things that you can just put on your desk to kind of add just a little bit of fun to the game. A Dungeon Dive patron sent me this little lantern. And a lot of you have noticed that this little lantern has made an appearance on a lot of Dungeon Dive videos. And I love this little lantern. This was a great gift for me. You know, lanterns represent dungeon crawling, and you can't go into the deep recesses of a dark cave or dark dungeon without a trusty lantern. And so I always have this handy. It's kind of like a little totem. And again, these can be sentimental. You know, you can get somebody a nice little dragon, or maybe a cool little sculpture of a dog with a backpack. That could be your little pack hound or something. And your gamer friend or relative could always have that out on their table when they're playing games, and they could remember you by. So I love stuff like this. I think it's really cool. They don't take up a lot of space. They're often not very expensive. So really, really cool. And let's see, coming up next is boxes. Boxes of all shapes and sizes. Gamers love boxes. Some of my favorite small plastic boxes, and I just bought 10 of them. I use these all the time, are the Duo Fire plastic storage cases. Duo Fire. I'm not going to put a link because the link is constantly changing. I will go to Amazon and I will click the link that I bought last time, and that link is dead, so I have to search for Duo Fire. D-U-O Fire. Don't buy them all, leave me some. But these little storage boxes are fantastic because they're really slim, and these dividers come out so you can change the shape of them. Now, these really only hold small chits, so these won't work for all games, but I use these a lot. I love these. And I like them better than other similar size cases because these other cases, they have big hinges that stick out, or big lips that just get in the way of the storage space, and they make these bigger than they need to be. These Duo Fire ones are really slim, and I like them. We have other kinds of boxes, so little tuck boxes. I bought a huge number of tuck boxes off of Amazon, and these can be folded. They come flat packed, which is great, and you can just stack them up at any time your gamer buddy needs a tuck box. They have one handy. They're color coded. I used these to organize Quest for the Lost Pixel. And bonus tip, hair ties. Hair ties are awesome because they don't dry out and they don't stick to your stuff like rubber bands do. And if you have long hair or know somebody who has long hair, you're always ready to have a hair tie on hand. I buy them in the bulk, by the bulk load. These are Gosakuka hair ties, but I use hair ties all the time for stuff. I find them really handy. And then we also have, of course, you know, your old school kind of baseball card boxes. If you know your gamer friend who is looking for a gift, if they like cards for their solo RPGs or anything, you can get all of these flat packed boxes in different sizes. These are all my Carnothalis cards, so I use those all the time. Storage boxes are always good. Storage boxes, not boxers. Storage boxes are always a great gift for people like us who are constantly needing to organize and store the things we buy. Kind of tangentially related, and also, hey, look, another use for a hair tie. Next up is Chit Trays. Chit Trays are awesome. I love these. I have about 10 of these, all filled with different things that I use for when I'm playing like solo RPGs. Different types of glass beads and wooden counters and tokens, blank tokens and extra tokens I've pilfered from other games. and I create my own chit trays, and they all stack nicely. You can put paper standees, little paper miniatures in here to organize them. I have some of those. I have a lot of my Dungeon Universalis things. These are the DVG, Dan Van Venessen games. These are the typical chit trays. If you just Google or Amazon chit trays, these are the ones you'll find, the ones that old war gamers use to keep their little tiny microscopic chits in there that they use tweezers to move around. But these are fantastic. Very affordable. You can get 10 of them for, I don't know, 20 bucks or something, but really cool. Very, very handy for all kinds of gamers. Next up, I can't show you because it's out on my kitchen table, my dining room table, but that is a really nice game mat. And the one that I have actually comes with a case, and that is from All Play. Now, they're not sponsoring this video. I'm not vouching for them. This is just the one that I bought because it looked like it was high quality. I've only had it for a couple weeks, and I think it is high quality. I'll show some pictures of it over here, but the edges are nice and stitched. It rolls up really nicely in this carrying case. You can get different colors and different sizes. You know, I'm not a big fan of every single game now having their own dedicated neoprene mat. I think that's a little overboard with plastic, but having a really nice game mat to set out on your dining room table or your kitchen table really can make the difference in playing a game. Psychologically, it kind of transitions you. Okay, this is no longer a dining room table. This is no longer a work table. This is right now is being dedicated, a dedicated table to play games on. This is where the magic is happening right now. And then you can roll it up and then switch your perspective to a work table or a dining table. And they also just make sliding cards around easier, picking things up easier. So really nice. It's a really nice thing to have. I think that would make a great gift. Let's see, after game mats, this one might be a little funny to some people, but bear with me. If you know that your gamer likes to DIY stuff, likes to make their own zines, make their own books, you can get them a ream of really good paper. We joke on the Dungeon Knife Facebook group about how fun it is to go and buy new office supplies, but office supplies are a great gift because that stuff is expensive. So a really nice ream of laser color printer, 28 or 32 pound, different types of kind of construction paper or cardstock for covers, a corner puncher. If somebody bought me a corner puncher for a gift, I would be so happy because I wear one of these out about every 2 years. Fantastic corner puncher. Anything I can that has a square corner, I punch it, I round it. A nice long arm stapler is a great gift for somebody who likes to make their own zines because they can staple the zine nicely. If they are getting into bookbinding, you can buy these really cool little bookbinding kits that will come with your bone folders and your needles and your threads and all of the things that you might need to bind some books. What else? Some laminate pouches here. These are my 5mm Scotch laminated pouches. I just re-upped my order of those. A laminator, a guillotine cutter. If you really want to splurge, a nice inkwell printer or something like that. DIY stuff is super cool because a lot of the games that we enjoy now are only on PDF or they're print on demand. And so people can get into the hobby of making their own games out of this stuff. And I know people have done that with even games like Warhammer Quest, old big games where they've found the files and they've DIY'd all of their own stuff. It's a really cool sub-hobby of this hobby. And let's see, coming up next is probably the most directly game-related thing. But that is a personalized miniature from Hero Forge. Now, I'm only mentioning Hero Forge again. I'm not vouching. They're not sponsoring this, but because they're the only company I know that does this. There might be others out there, but I've only used Hero Forge. So let's see if we can get... So this is my mini that I made of me. And it has a hat, it has glasses, it has a beard, it has kind of Vans-like shoes, it has a backpack because I'm always wearing a backpack. I used to have this gray jacket, and when I play video games, I always use a big two-handed F-off sword. I really like this mini. I think it does kind of look like me. And you can customize your minis on Hero Forge. I think they're about $40 or so. They come pre-painted. And you can get really intricate. You can get a lot of detail. So, you know, this is a great sentimental gift. I bought this for myself, so hey, thank you. No, but you know, if your mom or dad bought you something like this, I think that would be really cool. And I don't really play with this. I keep it in a nice little kind of dice case there and keep it protected. But my little knee is something that I cherish a lot. And if somebody bought this for me for a gift, I think that would be pretty cool. And last of all, the last gift recommendation is our books about games, especially coffee table books of art and things, because I love a good coffee table book. And those are kind of expensive things that a lot of people won't spend money on for themselves. But when they get them as gifts, they're really special. And I will look through a good coffee table book many times throughout the years of ordering it or owning it. You can get things like talking miniatures. This is volumes 1 and 2 in a slip sleeve. So this is really all about the history and the design of Citadel and Games Workshop miniatures, with interviews and discussions, oral history from all of the major players. A really fantastic book here. If your gamer is into things like video games, there are The Art of Atari. I love this book. Man, this book is amazing. That old Atari art was so cool. Remember, because they had to sell us on the art, because the graphics in the game definitely weren't pulling this off. But The Art of Atari is a fantastic coffee table book. If you know your gamer likes Dungeons and Dragons and they don't have this yet, the Art and Arcana coffee table book of all the D&D art and the history of the D&D art. This has a companion DVD documentary called The Eye of the Beholder. That would be a great gift. I don't know of any other kind of board game documentaries that are out there, but that could be a really cool thing too. I love, there's not enough of them and I would like to see more, but if your gamer likes D&D, they like fantasy art at all, this book is fantastic. I have looked through this book so many times, always discovering new things, just looking at the pictures. It's kind of like in the old days when we used to buy magazines. And we would look at magazines over and over again, like EGM and Game Pro and the PlayStation magazine. And we would read them from cover to cover over and over again. That's kind of how I treat coffee table books. I like them. And I like the size of these ones. So yeah, that was the Dungeon Dive Holiday Gift Guide. I hope you found this useful. I hope you found something that maybe sparked your interest, like, oh yeah, that would be great for so-and-so, or my nephew really needs a card holder or something like that. So I hope you guys have a great holiday season, whatever you celebrate or don't celebrate. Be well to yourself. Take it easy. Mental health is super important. So breathe, relax, try to enjoy the next couple of months, and don't get stressed out about things. I know there's a lot of stressors in all of our lives right now. So, all right, guys, take it easy. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.